Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk 2 takes place this weekend in the feature fight of UFC 275 Teixeira versus Prochazka, and I can't wait for this rematch. A long time in the making. I'm really looking forward to this matchup, mainly because it's a really good matchup. Women's strawweights usually have really good performances, especially at the top of their division, and we know, of course, after the first fight that this one will be reasonably entertaining at least. I really doubt we're going to get another edition of Namajunas versus Esparza 2. I think this is going to be a great fight. Really looking forward to it. Mainly the anticipation for this matchup is because of their first fight, which went to an absolute war. One of the greatest women's fights of all time. All 5 rounds, absolute chaos. I believe Zhang Weili won the first, the second, and the 4th round, and then Joanna Jedrzejczyk got the 3rd and the 5th, because there were sort of even strikes in some of those rounds, 1, 2, and 4, and when they landed even strikes in the rounds, Zhang Weili did a little bit more damage, a little bit more power in her shots as well, led to the judges seeing her winning that first contest. I don't disagree with the decision, but I'm really looking forward to this matchup. It's a big one. I think Zhang Weili is going to win again. Just going to put that out there immediately. That is my prediction for this fight. But I reckon there's a title shot on the line here. No one wants to see Rose Namajunas get another shot at the title against Carla Esparza because, first of all, she's 0-2 against Carla Esparza. I know the first fight they had happened a while ago, but she's still technically 0-2 against the champion Carla Esparza, so I don't see them running that fight back. Plus, the fight they just had, the rematch, was maybe the worst fight of all time. They literally did nothing to each other. They didn't even deserve to be a winner. So, no one wants to see that fight again. The winner of this matchup is going to get a title shot. Plus, Joanna Jedrzejczyk beat Carla Esparza before, so if she wins, I can definitely see her getting a title shot. Either way, though, the winner of this matchup, title shot in the strawweight division. There's so much on the line. They fought a very long time ago now. Time is flying really quickly, and it scares me, but these two fought at the start of 2020. Over 2 years ago. Zhang Weili has had 2 fights against Rose Namajunas in that time, and I'm going to say this. Joanna Jedrzejczyk said in the countdown video, "When I lost to you, it made me better." And all of the comments were just simping and saying, "Oh my god, that gave me chills. That when she said that, it gave me chills." Like, no. The loss to Zhang Weili made Joanna Jedrzejczyk retire for 2 years. And recover, because she took so much damage. And I just don't trust her to come back and look good or look in her prime. And one other thing I want to mention is it's not like Zhang Weili has sort of just been winning non-stop in the meantime, and now she's just sort of gotten a little bit comfortable and maybe she hasn't improved as much and stuff like that. Zhang Weili lost immediately to Namajunas, was forced to improve, and then made those improvements and went to a razor-close decision with Namajunas afterwards that arguably could have gone either way as well, like a lot of these top women's strawweight matchups. But Zhang Weili was literally forced to improve during the time that Joanna Jedrzejczyk has been taken Instagram pictures on the beach. You know what I mean? Like, all she's been doing is lounging around. Sure, she's been training here and there, but there's only so much that she could have been doing. I honestly heard in interviews before that she wasn't even thinking about coming back. She didn't even want to come back unless it was for a title shot or something like that. And only recently, I guess, she's decided, okay, I can get to run it back with Zhang Weili and just earn a title shot anyway. There's probably some good money that she's going to make in this matchup as well. So I feel like she's coming back now. She knows there's a clear path towards the title. Maybe she didn't think that before when she lost to Zhang Weili, knowing that Rose Namajunas already has 2 technical wins over her when Rose Namajunas was the champion. So that would make it really hard for Joanna Jedrzejczyk to argue a 3rd fight with Rose, you know what I'm saying? So now she's seeing a bit more of a clear pathway towards that title shot. She's come back. I just don't see her winning, man. Don't see her winning at all. One of the main things that Zhang Weili's improved is her grappling. She showed that a little bit in the Rose Namajunas fight. Now, she did get out-grappled by Namajunas here and there, but she also showed that she's willing to mix in the grappling a little bit more now. She's added that offensive part of grappling into her game. She used it on Joanna Jedrzejczyk, I believe, in round 2 of their first fight. She took her down. She tried a couple of takedowns on Joanna as well. I know for a fact that Zhang Weili, when she moved to train with Henry Cejudo and John Jones and that whole team and that sort of collaboration of people that were working together, I know she trained hard on her grappling. That was mainly her game plan, to mix that in against Rose Namajunas in their fight. And knowing that she's been going hard in the grappling over the past few years, I just know for a fact that Joanna Jedrzejczyk has not. And one thing that Joanna has always had is good takedown defense. But I feel as though it's not going to work out for Joanna and Jedrzejczyk. I'm sorry, yeah, because I'm just noticing, and you may notice this now as well. I'm getting like new beard areas, and it's something to listen, I've dealt with a bit of patchiness, you know what I'm saying? It's something I'm very happy with. I keep looking at them when I'm recording these videos. I got a little bit there, and I got a little bit there. I'm just so proud, you know what I mean? It's like watching a child grow, you know what I mean? Like my kids are finally starting to blossom. Either way, moving on. What was I discussing? I know Joanna Jedrzejczyk has not been training grappling hard. So I think that Zhang Weili is going to mix in the takedowns early on, make Joanna Jedrzejczyk overthink that. I don't see Joanna Jedrzejczyk being aggressive in the grappling department whatsoever. So I think that's going to be a massive factor for Zhang Weili. There's more for Joanna to worry about. Power, is she going to be rusty? And this is another part I want to bring up as well. Options. I always mention options. When you're even on the feet, like they showed in their first fight in certain moments, Zhang Weili and Joanna Jedrzejczyk, they're pretty even. Where Joanna Jedrzejczyk makes up for things in volume and maybe a little bit of striking technique, Zhang Weili has more power, and it kind of makes up for it. She's also a little bit just more powerful and physical in general. And that sort of evens them out in terms of how threatening they are on the feet together. And Zhang Weili is the only one I see in this matchup willing to mix up some grappling and try and take down Joanna Jedrzejczyk. And in women's fights, they're often so competitive on the feet and so close on the feet that just being willing to mix up a bit of grappling and take someone down at the end of one of the rounds is a huge, huge benefit for you. Because you could be down 3 significant strikes against someone, and at women's MMA, there's often so much chaos in some of these top strawweight matchups. Just securing that takedown at the end is enough for a judge to go, well, it was close, and Zhang got the takedown. So I'm leaning Zhang in that regard. And I also want to mention this. Breast implants weigh something. I think they weigh about 1 pound. I think that's what they weigh together. I looked it up. How much do they weigh? And they weigh about 1 pound. In a pair, depending on what size you get, of course. I'm not saying Joanna Jedrzejczyk has like completely gone overboard with it, but she has got some, and that weighs something. And Joanna Jedrzejczyk has always had problems with making weight. That's one of her biggest problems that she's had. She's a very big strawweight, and she hasn't made this weight cut in a very long time. I'm going to make a prediction on top of a prediction. I think Zhang Weili's going to win this matchup, and I think Joanna Jedrzejczyk's going to miss weight. I think Joanna Jedrzejczyk is going to miss weight in this matchup. I think she'll miss by 2 pounds. Blame it on not doing it for a long time. But the fact is, breast implants weigh something. And I don't think Joanna Jedrzejczyk really thought things through before she got those. Maybe she understood that, you know, if I lose, I'm just going to sort of go gallivanting around the world. If I get bigger breasts, I'll increase my Instagram following and that'll help me out and stuff like that. But she's already having trouble cutting weight before in her career. I know she doesn't have to make championship weight this time, but it's like, it's been so long since she's gone through that process. I can see her coming in about 1 pound or 2 overweight and saying she tried and shaking on the scales and the towel being brought up and stuff like that. And she's trembling up there looking like an absolute skeleton and stuff like that. Whereas Zhang Weili's been making championship weight for the past 2 fights and she's been active. I just trust the activity of Zhang Weili here. You know what I mean? And plus the flight, everything a little bit easier for Zhang Weili. I don't know where she's been training, but she's used to that region of the world. You know what I'm saying? So when she does her training camp over in China, I guess, she'll be used to that sort of time zone-ish. I know it's a very big place, so it's not that close. It's like being on one side of Europe versus the other side of Europe and stuff like that. But even still, she's used to that kind of area of the world, you know what I'm saying? So things are going to be a little bit smoother for her on fight week in terms of the normality of things fighting in an area like that. And I just don't see Joanna Jedrzejczyk doing well. I think she's going to be a little bit hesitant in the first round. I think Zhang Weili's going to go slow, throw power shots, mix in some takedowns, make Joanna overthink that sort of stuff. And I think I can see Zhang Weili going out there in the first 2 rounds, landing some big shots to the body, to the head, mixing in some side kicks to the body that she likes to do, some body kicks in general. I can see Joanna getting rocked in the first round maybe, stumbling backwards, and then Zhang Weili shoots a takedown and gets it, and Joanna works her way back up against the cage. But I just see Zhang Weili in those first 2 rounds when Joanna Jedrzejczyk hasn't been in there for over 2 years. I see her being a little bit sharper, a little bit more switched on, and I think she's going to land the better shots in those 2 rounds. Maybe we see a Joanna Jedrzejczyk come back in the 3rd. I know I mentioned that, you know, Joanna sort of came back in the 5th round against Zhang Weili and had a really good 5th round against Zhang Weili, and a really good 3rd round, I believe, as well in that matchup, and those are the rounds that she won. She seemed to get better as the fight went on against Zhang. Zhang's more of a power puncher, more explosive. She's going to get more tired. Joanna Jedrzejczyk throws more leg kicks and investment shots and stuff like that. So that sort of works in her favour. And I'm not saying that Zhang won't slow down because it's a 3-rounder and we've seen her go 5. Because 3-rounders are at a very different pacing. You know what I mean? Like, you sort of go a bit harder in those fights because you know you've only got 15 minutes to make a difference, and everything's just a little bit of a higher pace in a 3-round matchup. So I can see Zhang Weili winning the first 2 rounds and sort of cruising the 3rd, and Joanna having some success, but Zhang Weili staying defensively responsible. Not to mention, Joanna Jedrzejczyk's finishing potential almost entirely relies on the person quitting or breaking or gassing out in order for her to win by finish. She's not really a finishing type of opponent. Like, she's just sort of like a pick you apart, land big shots, outclass you over the distance if she can. I really don't see her finishing. If Zhang Weili, I think Zhang Weili's the only one who can finish in this matchup. She's the only one who's going to mix up the grappling. I think this is almost like a lock of the card, to be honest with you. What are the odds in this matchup? Let me have a little look up. I don't know if I'm losing my vision, by the way. Let me know in the comments. Is it a little bit blurry on camera? I'm noticing a bit of a blur. I don't know why that is. I'm just noticing a little bit of fuzz. I'm not understanding that. I've been trying to fix that, but I don't get it. Maybe I'm going blind. Either way, Zhang Weili's a minor favourite. And not a favourite of minors, like Pat Barry. A minor favourite. So I'm definitely thinking that's a lock. That's really good value. Zhang Weili over Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Slight favourite. Slight favourite. Zhang Weili by decision, you can get even better odds. Turn 10 into 24. That's naughty. I'm going to say Zhang Weili by decision is the move here. That's really good odds. I was actually expecting her to be a bit more of a favourite because there's a lot you have to weigh in here. The time off, the weight cut, breast implants, going to make that weight cut a little bit more different. A long time after not doing the weight cut is going to make that weight cut a little bit more difficult as well. I'm really liking the chances of Zhang here. I think it's a lock of the card. And I think the winner of this one is going to destroy Carla Esparza. I have no idea what Rose Namajunas was doing. No idea what she was doing in that matchup. No clue whatsoever. She would have beaten Carla if she just went hard. Carla is not the world champion. And I think it's ripe for anyone who's actually somewhat decent to come up and get it done. Like Joanna Jedrzejczyk, if she shows great takedown defense against Zhang and she still got it in the takedown defense, I reckon she'll just beat Esparza. And if Zhang Weili wins, I reckon she'll whoop up on Esparza as well. I think that's a free title right there, and I think both these girls know it, and I think it's like their big chance to get the title shot. So they're both going to give it their all. I just think Zhang Weili's going to go a little bit harder because they know that if Rose was champ, they've both lost twice to her. Once by getting finished in the first round when Rose took the belt from them, and then once by close decision that could go either way in both their cases in the rematches that they had. And with Rose as champ, it would be difficult for them to argue a title shot with 2 losses to her. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think they're both going to bring it, have an amazing performance, but Zhang Weili gets it done. Great odds. Honestly, she should be 2-1 or over that. When you look at some of the odds that go on some of these cards and some of the odds that you see, like some ridiculous numbers that come out, like, oh, 8-1 favourite on this guy, 4-1 favourite on this guy, like, that's really good. You know what I mean? I know it's a high-level fight, so they don't really like to do crazy odds like that, but some of the other odds that are on this card, like, I'm definitely taking the Zhang Weili by decision money. I think that's good money right there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Click that button up there. Toodles.